They believed love would be enough. But when Malcolm James met Lauren's parents, he didn't walk into dinner. He walked into a storm. A storm made of old money, quiet racism, and a family legacy too proud to change. What happened next was captured on video. And it changed everything. Malcolm James wasn't nervous about meeting Lauren's parents. He believed love and decency were enough. But the moment he shook hands with her father, Thomas Whitmore, he realized he was wrong. Thomas gave him a cold grin and a crushing handshake. "I didn't expect our daughter to bring someone like you home," he said. Lauren laughed awkwardly. Her mother, Martha, handed over sweet tea with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. They weren't just surprised, they were ashamed. Their politeness was like perfume, trying to hide the strong smell of prejudice. Dinner was tense. Thomas spoke about real Americans and family legacy. Every time Malcolm tried to speak, he was cut off. Martha winced every time Lauren reached for his hand. But love held firm. Despite the arguments, the guilt, and the silent pressure, Lauren stood by Malcolm. When they told his Nigerian father, Uke, not to wear his agbada to the wedding, Lauren said no. At the wedding, Malcolm's family stood tall and proud. Lauren's family sat stiff, trapped in the past. The ceremony was beautiful. Until the reception. Thomas stormed toward them, holding a glass of red wine. "This is what it's come to," he hissed. "Throwing away a legacy for a headline?" And then he threw the wine straight at Malcolm. It soaked through his white shirt. The room fell silent. Dammy clenched his fists. Uke stood calmly, eyes steady. But Lauren moved first. She stepped up to the microphone. "Enough," she said, voice clear. "Look at what my father just did." She turned to her mother. "You smiled through all of it," she said. "You let this happen." Then she said the words that cut deeper than any wine. "You are no longer welcome in our lives. Leave." Thomas and Martha walked out in silence. Someone had recorded it. The video spread quickly. Months later, they found out they were grandparents. From a cousin's post. Lauren held baby Ava in her arms. Malcolm stood beside her, smiling. They sent letters. No response. Then a box arrived. Inside was one photo. Ava crawling into Malcolm's arms. Lauren smiled beside him. Across the frame, the words read, "Love isn't something you get to ruin and still expect to be part of." Thomas kept the photo. He started therapy. He finally faced the truth about the hatred passed down to him. But redemption doesn't always come. Sometimes, all you get is clarity. Malcolm never needed forgiveness. He stood tall, with quiet strength. To Ava, Uke was Papa. Love surrounded her. And Thomas and Martha? They watched from afar, realizing they hadn't just lost a daughter. They lost the legacy they were so desperate to protect. And some stains, unlike wine, never wash out. Sometimes, love isn't loud. It doesn't shout, or beg, or fight to be accepted. It just walks away, with dignity. Malcolm didn't need revenge. He had love. He had family. And he had peace. As for those who tried to stain that love, they were left with silence, regret, and a photo they could never erase. Because some legacies are born from love, and some stains never wash out. If this story moved you, if you believe in love, dignity, and standing tall through silence, then hit that subscribe button. We share real stories that speak to the heart. Because sometimes, truth is louder than noise.